everybody. I'm here today with a little kind of a combined effort kind of thing. So I'm going to do Tuesday 10. I've got to get in the habit of that. I've got to get in the habit of it because I have a whole box full of stash that I could work through. I need to work through. So I'm also in preparation for October coming up. So as I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, I am planning to do Inktober. I haven't yet quite figured out how I'm going to do that with you guys yet, but I will. It may even be just a 5-10 minute video a day. Super simple, super quick. I do Inktober every year, but I don't stress about it and I don't spend a lot of time on it. I mainly just do it to keep me in practice of doodling and drawing, because that's not something I do every day. So I do it as a challenge to let me doodle a little bit. I have yet to decide what I want to do for Inktober with you guys. Last year I did it in my personal calendar. I won't do that on film because it's my personal calendar. But anyways, so I'm still working on that. I'm planning on this. If you haven't heard about Inktober or explored it or whatever, I highly recommend. It was pretty popular a couple years ago, and it's kind of died off a little bit. I don't know if there was some drama or whatever with it, which is fine. But I've continued to do it. Some years I make my own prompts. Some years I follow this prompt. It just kind of depends. But anyways, they've posted their 2023 prompt list, and with the hashtag, I use the hashtag Inktober 2023 or Inktober. I think they're mainly on Instagram, so check them out if you're interested. And then that's all I'll say about Inktober until October 1st. So I've got a week or two, I think is what's left of this month, to figure out what I want to do with you guys. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to it. If there's something you want to see, again, drawing is not my strong suit, so I'm not going to do anything to stress about it, but I would like to do something with you guys every day for the month. I enjoy doing the monthly challenges, and when I have you guys here, it certainly adds to the fun. So anyways, that's enough said for Inktober. On to the next one. Usually I try to just do one challenge a month, but a friend of mine mentioned this to me, and I think I'm going to do it. It's Arty Fartober for Arty Farty people. I don't have my notes with me right now. Ooh, hold please, I can go grab them. Just one second. My notes aren't as far away from me as I thought they were. I thought they were in the other room, but they're not. They're right here. So Arty Farty 2023. I don't know who is officially hosting this, but a friend of mine that told me about it, she sent me to the YouTube channel Annie Claxton, and it's Arty Farty Annie. ARTYFARTY Annie ANNIE. So that's Annie Claxton, CLAXTON, is on YouTube. That's where I saw this first. I'll be honest, I don't know who. I think there's a handful of her and her friends that are initiating this, but I'm not so sure. So I'm just going to give her credit because that's where I found it. Arty Farty Annie for Arty Fartober 2023. I just think it's a funny challenge name. I don't know. Don't ask. They're using the hashtag Arty Fartober. Arty Fartober. It's down here. Arty Fartober 23. Let's see how many times I can say fart in this video. Anyways, I am doing this one, I think. I am doing this one, and I'm gonna do this one in the realm of, if any of you guys followed my follow my friend Mary Ellen at Red Parrot. Junk Journal July, she took a book, she created a little journal, and she took a kit, and Junk Journal July 2023 was a prompt list for the month, and she worked that prompt list into this one book using this one kit. I currently don't have a one kit, so I'm just going to kind of play it by ear, but I am thinking of, and this is a new concept for me. I mean, I've done art journals before. I've never done a themed junk journal / art journal for me. Most of the art journals I have are just kind of like where I do my runoffs or my excess or anything like that. I throw some stuff in there, or an idea that I see, I throw it in there or whatever. Nothing really themed, nothing really planned. But this one, and they're just mine, and there's not any rhyme or reason to them. This one's going to have a rhyme or reason, and this one's going to be for me, for my collection. And it will be Artie Fartober 2023. There's 31 days in October. I've got, I don't know where I got these. Possibly from the dollar store, Art Skills brand. It looks like dollar store stuff. 4 blank books, 16-page blank books. I'm not going to use all 4 of them, obviously, but I am going to use one. I could make my own book, but I was playing around with it, trying to decide, and I started stressing about it, about what I wanted to make my book out of, and what size, and how much, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so I thought, you know, I have these blank books. I will just work in these. There's 16 pages. That gets me through the month. So I'll do a page for each day. Good size to work with, a little bit bigger than my hand. So that's kind of my plan, to do Artie Fartober in this journal, going by this prompt list, 2023. So some of these, and it may just be because I'm not in that gaggle of ladies who are, that I just came across Artie Farty Annie and started following her. So she may have a handful of followings and a gaggle of ladies that kind of work together and create together. So I think if that's the case, some of these prompts are maybe an inside joke, or not really a joke, but an inside thing that me as an outsider don't know. And by that I mean, number 24 prompt is Portrait of Tom. I don't know who Tom is. I assume it's somebody connected to their group, which is fine. I'll still work with that. I'll figure out who Tom is. And who Tom is to me and how I relate that to that prompt. Also, Portrait of Annie. Now, this just hit me. Portrait of Annie, when I first saw this prompt, I was thinking of like Little Orphan Annie. The Little Redhead musical is what I was thinking of, but I just made the connection of Artie Farty Annie, Portrait of Annie. So that's likely Portrait of her, but we're gonna go a different route with it. I also will say this as a disclaimer. Number 8 prompt says churches. I'm going a different way with that already. It'll be a fun way, but I don't go to church and I don't do religious art or anything like that, and so I'm going a different way with this. Not in a bad way, just so you know. But anyways, the rest of these, they look like fun. They'll be fun to play with. What am I going to do in these? I don't know. I don't know if I'll collage or I'll paint or I'll just draw, or I don't know. We'll see as the month goes on. So that's that. Artie Fart. I'm going to stumble over the word 1,001 times. I know. Artie Fartober 23. And I will say this, the friend of mine that we've been back and forth about doing this, I just keep calling it Fartober. Because, you know, sometimes fart jokes are funny to me. And so Artie Fartober, instead of trying to say all that in a text or whatever, I just, for shorten it, call it Fartober. So, I'll try not to do that in my videos when I'm talking about this challenge, but no promises. No promises. I reserve the right to giggle at it every once in a while. Anyways, Artie Fartober 23. So, all that to be said, these are the 2 challenges I'm doing for October, which is coming up in another week or so. I'm trying to plan for both of them. I have not done any planning for Inktober, but I've got a few things in my brain for this. I've started making notes. So, with that being said, 2 things that this video is about. Prepping for October, Inktober, and Artie Fartober. And also, it's a Tuesday 10 video. Because I keep kicking myself. My weeks get by faster and faster, and I look up and it's Wednesday, and it's like, dang it, I missed Tuesday 10. Hashtag Tuesday 10 is a collaboration with Cindy at Studio Lou. Certainly check her out. She does a Tuesday 10 video, and basically the concept or the idea behind it is to gather 10 things from your stash and work on those 10 things until you get through those 10 things. It's a way to kind of get rid of your scraps and use your scraps and stash and all that. She does a lot of ephemera making with them. I started on the trend I'd say a couple weeks ago. I think I've missed a couple weeks, but maybe a month ago. And my idea was to use my stash of my scraps, 10 pieces, and to work in my art journal. But I just haven't gotten in that groove yet. So today we are going to do Tuesday 10, hashtag Tuesday 10 by Studio Lou. And I think what I'm going to do is do it in, I've picked out 10 pieces of my stash, my scrap stash, and I think I'm going to just kind of start with planning this and my prompts for each day, kind of getting familiar with the prompts. If you're going to do any of these challenges, while it's fun to go blindly into them, if you have all the time in the world to do that, that's fine. But I found that if I prep for them a little bit ahead of time, then the list is already rolling around in my brain, and so if I see something, I'll be like, oh, that would work great for that prompt. So I kind of like to get started a little early on the prompts, kind of studying them, thinking about them, planning for them, things like that. So, so that's kind of what this is. This little book is going to be interesting because it's pretty thin paper, like copy paper. So that will be interesting. But anyways, my first thought is to plan out my pages. And I've got a stack of sticky notes here. They're not cut to the size I need them, but that's okay because we have scissors. And we are just going to snip off some. I don't care if they're even or anything like that. They're just kind of little markers to let me know what I've got going on this page. These are not my 10 pieces. I haven't started that yet. In case you're wondering, what are you doing, Michelle? I'm just kind of outlining, I guess, is what my thought process is. So, I'm thinking I'll have enough pages for this to be a cover page. And then if I do, let's see here. Let's get a plan here. With the prompt list here. And we'll do it like this. Excuse me, I've got a little tickle in my throat. I don't even know what I'm doing there. Day 1 is light in the darkness. And it'll go on this page. Number 2 is a giraffe having a laugh. Number 3 is Whimsical Cat. Number 4 is Sunflowers. And you know, funny enough, this is the one prompt that I don't have any notes for. I haven't given it a thought. Number 5 is Out of This World. Number 6 is Alternate Universe. Seven is Portraits of Annie. 8 is Churches. 9 is The Dark Side. A little side note, we have a little coffee shop, and this just made me think of it. We have a little coffee shop in our town. It's locally owned. It's called The Dark Side Coffee, and all the coffees are named after Star Wars characters, and I think that's awfully cute. Also, they have great coffee. If you're ever in Central Arkansas, hunt them down. They are a little local shop, and I will say this. They are a mom and pop shop that they are friends of my mom, and so I kind of know them somehow, which makes them be in small business. You know, I really want to support them since I kind of know them. Anyways, they are kind of right across the street from a Starbucks, and just got word this last week or so that a 7 Brew, both are chain, Starbucks and 7 Brew, both are chain coffee shops here. A 7 Brew is going in kind of across the street, kind of catty corner from Starbucks. So in that half a mile radius, there will be 3 coffee shops, 2 chain and 1 locally owned. And there's been a lot of back and forth conversation about this situation, and so I sent the Dark Side Coffee a little note on their social media the other day and said, just so you know, because where I live, I have to pass 2 Starbucks to get to them, which is fine. But I said, just so you know, I already passed 2 Starbucks to get to you, and I have no problem passing 1 more chain restaurant to get to you. So I will, probably in the next 6 to 9 months, be passing 3 coffee shops to get to this place. That's how good their coffee is. And, you know, shop local. So that's that. That was a little bit of a tangent. Not in a bad way tangent, but a bit of a rabbit hole, I guess. Sorry about that. But now you know a little bit about Central Arkansas. And none of this is about coffee, but now that I say that, maybe I'll see if I can find some of their little I'm making notes over here in my notebook. Maybe I'll see if I've got some little scrappy doos from their coffee shop that I can collage with. But anyways, carrying on. I'm on number 19. Neurographic art. Number 20. Girl with pink hair. Number 21, Cryptid Capers. You know, I had to look up what cryptid means, and that sent me down a whole new rabbit hole. It's pretty interesting. You should do that. Cryptid. Look up what cryptid is. Cryptid creatures. So that was a little learning lesson as it is. 23. 24, Portrait of Tom, and we don't know who Tom is, but I will say this. I have a sneaky feeling, and a couple of you guys will catch this, I have a sneaky feeling that he may end up being Tom. And that's all I'll say. Anyways, moving on. 25 is Under the Sea. Oh, your handwriting is atrocious, Shell. 26 is Dragonfly. I have an idea for this as well, and it involves maple seeds that I currently only have little bitty ones, so I'm on the hunt for some like real maple seeds, and I don't know what time of the year they fall here, so hopefully it's not spring. Hopefully it's in the next couple weeks. Who knows? Anyways, 27 is Hobbit Home. 28 is What a Hoot. I have an idea for this one that I saw on a YouTube video months ago, and I've had screenshots of it on my phone for a while, and I just haven't had a chance to do it, but I'm doing it on that prompt. I'm going to tell you that right now. 29 is Gnomes. 30 is Purple. And 31 is Happy Halloween. And then we are ended. So that worked out perfect. This is my cover, and this is my cover, and then this should be not cover page, but title page. But anyways, you knew what I was talking about. So anyways, now that we have an idea of what goes where, let's get to our Tuesday 10 pieces of scraps. I picked out a handful of scraps, just kind of thinking that I would, let me just go over the scraps that I have. And they are mainly background thought process is where I'm at with this. This is definitely going to be the giraffe having a laugh. And we have this purple paisley. We have this, this is an image from a magazine. This is very feminine and pink scrapbook paper. It's got some stuff on the back that does not apply. This could be Out of This World or Under the Sea, maybe. This is just some pretty cool number sheet. Blue. This shiny textured. This page with some, looks like some chickens and some little kids feeding the ducks and playing with the lamb and feeding the chickens. And this is a page from Cindy at Studio Lou. This was on one of her Patreon. On her Patreon, she does a monthly Journal With Me kit where she shares a good handful of images with us, and this was one of them, and I fell in love with it, and I printed it out, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but we're going to find something to do with it. So there we go. That's 10 pieces, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's jump into this. This, since it is giraffe with a laugh, this is a scrap piece that is pretty gunky. It's been torn and all that, but so I don't have no plan for this just yet, but I know this is gonna go on this page somewhere. And so here's kind of my thought process. If I throw down some, actually I'll have another Tuesday 10 between now and then. If I throw down some background scraps, then that lessens the whole white page syndrome that I tend to get sometimes. And so I don't know what I'm going to do on this page, but now I'm going to have to do something with that giraffe swatch. So anyways, that's kind of my thought process. I think this one, since it's feminine and it's pink, it should be the girl with pink hair, which is day 20. Girl with pink hair. And I don't know. I'm kind of inclined just to put it right in the middle. Or maybe up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll just put it up a little bit. Yeah, so this will help eliminate the white page syndrome that a lot of artists, a lot of us have. We come across, it's like, we have a blank white page. What do we do with it? So when I get to this day, I'll be like, okay, we've got a page with this already stuck on it. So what are we doing with it? What comes next? Cryptid Capers. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and fold this over, I think. Mainly because it's still glued, or it's pretty glued. And if it doesn't work for our Cryptid Capers, then we'll cover it up somehow. So this will be girl with pink hair. Okay. We have this. I'm feeling Portrait of Tom with this. I don't know if I'll use Mr. Cheekbones. But if I recall correctly, I think in a roundabout way in one of our videos we talked about, we as in all of us were having a conversation, not really. In our YouTube conversations, we talked about his name being Tom, I think. I'm horrible with memory, and so I am quite certain that Mary Ellen will will help me out on this, but I think we did decide his name was Tom. Anyways, carrying on. Which, I mean, I guess he would look pretty cool with that. But anyways, this is what I'm feeling for Portrait of Tom, and that's day 24. Portrait of Tom. And I'm not going to cut this or anything like that. I'm just going to stick it on here. And since I don't know what this is or what it says, I actually think I'm going to cut the top line off. Because I can read Conrad Lasher, and I'm not exactly sure who that is. And I'm not exactly sure where this came from. So in order to not have any offensive material in any of my stuff, I'm going to put it upside down, and I cut that name off. And so shouldn't be an issue. Again, I don't know where this piece came from. I had some magazines with like some war documents in them and all that, and so it's highly possible that it could have been one of those. So I like it. I think it's really cool, but I don't want it to be offensive to anybody, so we'll make sure that it's not the main feature. I'm kind of thinking this. I'm kind of thinking is number 17 Imaginary Friend, or it could also be it could also be Hobbit. I'll be honest, I know what a Hobbit home is. It's like a little in the ground little house kind of thing. I'm gonna have to Google exactly what a Hobbit is. Is it a creature? Is it a person? Is it like a fairy? I don't know. But I'm kind of feeling like this could be Hobbit-ish. So how about we do this? Imaginary Friend is 17 and Hobbit is 12. How about we split hairs on it? One's gonna get one and one's gonna get the other. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, So imaginary friend is 17, we decided. 16, 17. Imaginary friend over here. And I think I'm just gonna plunk it down. I folded this one edge over, but I've got to decide if I want to have stuff hang out or if I'm going to go flush to the edges or what I'm going to do. I've got to decide that. Sometimes when I'm playing around, like my collage book, which I have on my list to do a flip through, I may just do that here shortly. But anyways, it hangs over the edges, and I think it's kind of cool. But sometimes I don't want that. Sometimes I just want a clean cut edge. So I think we'll just go with a clean cut edge. And I'm not too stressed about getting these down exactly and making sure they're all glued down and all that, because when it comes time to play with this page, if there's edges that need to be glued down or whatever, then I'll take care of it at that point. So this will be imaginary friend. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And I think probably the idea behind, get with it, Shell. I initially think the idea behind using your scraps for Tuesday 10 is not to create more scraps, but I like these. So I'm creating more scraps doing that. But anyways, where was that? 17 imaginary friend. Perfect. Okay. And what did we decide the other one was? Hobbit, number 12. Number 12, Hobbit. But you know, if... I think I won't do this for Hobbit, because until I figure out what exactly a Hobbit is. I kind of know, it's like one of those things you think you know, but then when you start questioning yourself, it's like, do I really know what that is? So, I don't think we'll do that. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this into here as a of the same universe, as what my friend Mary Ellen said today on one of her videos, as a coordinating of the same universe. Because I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but now we have extras for that scrap if we want to do a pocket or whatever that matches. So, carrying on. This is a blue and purpley paisley. I'm kind of feeling it for the purple page on page 30. I'm going to kind of, excuse me, I got that tickle again. I'm going to be different and put it all the way at the bottom. Instead of centering it or whatever, I'll put it all the way at the bottom, and that eliminates that white page. And we'll figure out what to do with it when we get to it. Okay. Next up, we've got the bubbles. Now, under the sea is what I'm thinking. Or alternate universe. I have an idea for alternate universe, and it is oceanic. So maybe I'll go that route with it. Or, you know what I could do? I could cut it in halves. In halvesies. Nope, I like it for Under the Sea. Isn't it funny how we have these little conversations with our brain and make decisions and just kind of go with it sometimes. The wonderful, oh, look at that side. That's pretty. I still like the bubbles. It's pretty, but, and I do have some more of this bubble paper in my scrap bucket. I did see it, so that was good to know. We're just going to plunk you down right there for Under the Sea. Okay, moving on, moving on. We have this shiny, it's shiny gold piece. We have this blue piece. And we have this numbered piece, which is kind of thick. I'm kind of feeling this for Under the Microscope. I don't know why. I guess because it's a bunch of little numbers. Although it says temperatures degrees Fahrenheit. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, temperatures degrees Fahrenheit. Would that be... No. Could be a storm. It's really sciencey, so that's why I'm thinking Under the Microscope. So number 11. And I think what I'm going to do... Oh. I got ahead of myself here. Number 11 Under the Microscope. I think what I'm going to do is glue it down and fold it over just to give it some, because it's a big piece and I don't want to create another scrap with it. Oh, I should have put it the other way, duh. But that's okay, we can fold to the inside. It's just not normal, but you know, what's normal anymore? Or I guess we could flip it over and do it this way. Yeah, let's do that. Again, I'm not like super stressed about getting all this glued exactly where, oh, scoot you up here and get you centered. Glued exactly where it needs to be and all that good stuff. We'll do the finishing touches. I just wanted to kind of get some background started, get some planning in place. Was kind of my thought process. Okay. We have this big guy. And then these two pieces. And I picked them out with a thought process, I think. So let's see here. We could do so many thoughts to decide. How about we do mushrooms for this? I don't think I have anything in my notes for mushrooms yet, so, and then how about we do bird for this one? And I say this because I'm in the process of working on some peacock stuff, and so it's possible I'll have some peacock scraps. Possible. It's possible. Yes, yeah, I have some peacock stuff. Anyways, that's just kind of what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? What do you think? Although it's already folded like a little card. Well, we could set this aside and grab another scrap. Because it is, I'll just put this in my peacock scraps, I think. And let's reach over here and grab, let's see here. Let's grab this scrap. Okay, this going in the peacock box. And so now we have this one. I think I'm feeling sunflowers on this one for some reason. Let me think. Since it's new to the playing field. I think so. Yep, I think so. I'll do sunflowers with that because I think this would be pretty with a yellow and brown sunflower. We're going to plunk it in the middle. Yeah, so I will have another Tuesday 10 next week before we get started, I think, if I'm looking at my calendar correctly. Yes, before we get started on October 1st. So I think I'll do the same thing next week. Pick out 10 scraps and get them in here. I actually will probably go through this and make sure I don't pick out another one for sunflowers or whatever. So, and then we decided on this for mushrooms. Hold it. Changes in mushrooms. And I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna use glue stick and see how it does with this. It's textured paper. I usually would use my Weld Bond or some sort of tacky glue or whatever that typically holds a little bit better. I think I mentioned before I don't have a lot of trust in glue sticks, so especially with textured paper and thick papers and things like that. So we'll see. Once we get to the 13th, we'll see if it's still holding. And that'll be a test. Okay, we are down to this beautiful piece. And I gotta decide how to use it because it could easily be used in Hobbit. It could easily be used in Gnomes. So let's see if we want to do that. Gnomes is 29. We don't have anything for Gnomes yet. I am gonna go ahead and kind of trim this up a little bit. Trim just the white edges off of it. So we figure out what we're gonna do with it. And I think I want to try to use it for Hobbit and Gnomes. And I think I want to, I'm going to try this. All the cool kids do this, but I never can. Oh, and I even have one of these. I've never used this before. It's a tearing ruler, but I think I'm going to do this. And we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. I do feel like I have to do it on all sides now. Okay, let's figure out how tall we are. Well, let's trim us off first. Again, all the cool kids do this, but I can't. I'm not coordinated enough for it, I don't think. Some of them do it quick, some of them do it not so quick. I think not so quick is the best route for me. I'm sure you guys are probably laughing at me, saying, oh, Shell, what are you doing over there with the tearing ruler? We are trying our best. That's what we're doing. We're trying our best. Okay, let me get a feel for about how long this needs to be. I'm going to tuck that in my little scraps. Again, I'm not supposed to be making scraps, but I am. So I think I want to do this for gnomes. Yep. Everything's sticking to each other. And then I think I want to do this other little strip for, I think I said 12 Hobbit. Number 12 Hobbit. Okay. So let's see. I think I might. I think I might just keep it with a straight edge. Yeah. See if I can tear with the straight edge here. Not bad. Not bad, Shell. Okay. It's a little warm. I have to shut my doors and turn on the air. I've been trying not to do that, but might have to. Although it's almost 6 o'clock in the evening, so it should be cooling down here shortly. I've still got my work clothes on, and I just wanted to jump on and create a little bit real quick before I did my dinner or anything like that. So okay, so that's what we have for Hobbit. So we are through our 10 pieces, and for hashtag Tuesday 10 collaboration with Studio Lou, Cindy at Studio Lou, so check that out. I'll tag below that and the Artie Fartober, and see about if I can put the information about Inktober. But anyways, so that's where we're at. And again, I think this is going to be fun, and especially I don't want to stress about it, and so that's kind of why I'm planning it already. I guess we could put our prompt list here. That's kind of my plan, but we don't have to put that down yet. We'll wait on that. But anyways, there we are for it. So this was kind of a, well, 2 in 1. I mentioned Inktober. I mentioned Artie Fartober. And then we tackled a Tuesday 10. So I'm feeling pretty accomplished here. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Go through a little bit of my stash, and like I said, I've got in my plans to go through my collage journal. I'm trying to figure out, I'm not techie, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that without any voiceover. Just kind of do as a flip through, maybe with some music, but I haven't quite figured that out. So that's why I haven't done it yet. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We'll get there. But that's all I've got for this evening. I hope that you guys will join in Inktober, whether you're on YouTube or not, just for your own personal scribblings. Again, I think it's a good practice, especially for those like me who don't draw a lot, but I know how to draw, I just don't draw a lot. So this kind of makes me do it at least once a year for 30 days or 31 days. And then the new challenge that I found is Artie Fartober 2023. The hashtag is Artie Fartober 23. And it appears, from all of my understandings, which may be incorrect, it's hosted by a handful of ladies. The one I found it on was Annie Claxton at Artie Farty Annie on YouTube. So hopefully you'll join for one or both of these challenges. And if you have, if you upload videos for either of them or both, then hopefully you'll hashtag it so I can see what you guys are creating as well through the month. Anyways, I'll close this up for now, and we'll see you guys soon.